What is up, Need for Speed racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut, and I'm here with a Nissan GTR build video. First, Magic IQ has already built the Nismo edition of this car. I'm doing the premium edition. There's a difference between the two. His is better. So I'm going to link his video below. Go give it a look. Check it out. Maybe use this car to unlock that car and then build his for sure. He might even have a build video on this later on. I don't know. We obviously don't collab together, but at the end of the day, we're both making Need for Speed content for you guys, and so give him a look. I think that his build is perfect. I've built the Nismo already. I'm not super smitten with the Skyline end of things. I don't love driving them, but they are very good cars. They reward automatic drivers for sure, and the all-wheel drive is fantastic. It's really a very planted car. So go check out his video, give him a look. We use very similar builds on the cars, but the chassis are different. Like, they are separate vehicles, and even though they're both a GTR, this one can't get the same horsepower and torque as his. He's got more horsepower, he's got more torque. That thing should be faster. This has got a higher top speed. I have no idea why. I've gone like for like, part for part on both of the chassis, and they're just a little different. So I would say, give them both a look. Go check him out. He's trying to do the right thing, and I appreciate that, and I'm trying to do the same. So it's all love in the Need for Speed community, and we're really making content for you guys, and so that's a win-win for everybody. A healthy competition gives you guys better content. I know I've had to improve my videos, and it's a wonderful thing all the way around. So I won't dig into it any further than that. Thank you to all you guys, and let's just move forward and have a great day and make a great car and go race, man. So we'll dig right into it. This is the 2017 Nissan GTR Premium Edition. For the engine that we're running into this, it is the same as the build for the Nismo edition. You're going to run the 4.0 liter V8. It is the Pro motor. It's the third from the left. For the parts, you are going to be running the Super Gold induction. For the ECU, you're going to be running the Platinum Elite ECU. For the fuel system, you're going to be running the Platinum Elite fuel system. For the exhaust, you're going to be running the Platinum Elite exhaust. For the supercharger, or the forced induction, if you will, you're going to be running the Platinum Elite Root Supercharger. You're running just Bronze Sport Nitrous. You are going to be running Platinum suspension, but you're running just the regular suspension, not the road. We were able to get a little more horsepower in it by doing the regular suspension, and I drove the car with both setups. It is so similar that I wouldn't differ between the two. I'll take the horsepower every time. In this case, we are running just Silver Pro brakes. You are running Elite Grip Platinum tires. You are running the Super Gold clutch. You are running the 5-speed Sport Bronze transmission. You're going to be running just the Sport differential. You can get any differential you want, but you need to get the Sport one to get the slider all the way to 100% grip, and so there's no reason to buy any additional there. For auxiliaries, I am running Nitrous Grip, Nitrous Near Miss. Like I've recommended before, if you find yourself running second, third, fourth, just anywhere not in first place, Nitrous Draft is really good. It helps you fill that nitrous bottle quicker. You can draft behind somebody, wait till that last corner, boom, you've got a full tank of NOS, and maybe you can slingshot by them and get that win. So be looking into that, you guys. When it's all said and done, the parts are very similar to Magic's Nismo build. So like I say, I would encourage you guys to go check him out. He worked really hard on that, I'm sure, because there's a lot of different combinations for that car. And we worked on it in the lab for about a week last week to get it kind of dialed in. And I didn't make a build video on it because I'm not really a Nissan boy, but after recent events, I figured this would be a good way to put something out there and complement his build. So let's do that. Steering sensitivity, we are 2 clicks off from center. Little high. This car turns in really good. Like I said, it's super stable. I've got some gameplay footage at the end of this. You guys can see how it drives. I handbrake turn on a lot of turns, but then it just locks in and keeps going. So I'm happy with the car. It's fun. It's a good car. Downforce all the way high. You can run a couple of clicks to about there. Anything past there, and you're going to start delving into the 330s, but that's all in the 329 range. So do what you think is best. I like running high downforce on my cars. This one you might get away with middle of the road. I would try both. I really would, just see what you like. Traction control's off. Drift entry is off. That is the handling portion of this build, engine parts, so to speak. That's going to give you a top speed of 190. Like I say, the chassis are different. This one has got a higher top speed for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just how it goes. But I've got less horsepower than the Nismo edition. I've got less torque. I also do a little slower quarter mile. That being said, I think the 0 to 60 and the quarter mile really don't matter, because your quarter miles from a dead stop, you're only at a dead stop once in the race. That's at the start. And if you get a perfect launch, you're going way faster than the 0 to 60 time anyway. It's more like 0 to 100 in about a second with that boost. So just be aware of that, you guys. They're similar chassis. They're similar cars. From there, we go into the style portion of the build. I found this car to be incredibly planted. I did not feel the need for it to get a wide body kit in any way, shape, or form. If you like that, you like the look, go ahead and do it. For me, I didn't think it needs it. On the rear fenders, I did put the Yaris fender because I kind of liked the way that carbon fiber trim looked, but that would be the skinniest. It's just the regular one, but kind of like that Yaris. On the back, I did do a little trunk lid, or excuse me, the spoiler, just a little one. It doesn't really extend the length of the car any, because the splitter on the bottom is kind of the long piece in this case. There is one spoiler that is really that one. That one is probably the longest on the car, but like I say, I think that matches up pretty dang close with the splitter down at the bottom, and so or excuse me, the diffuser on the bottom, so there's really no need for it. And that diffuser, there's a couple different options, but really they're all going to give you about the same, because this rear bumper has got one built into it. Like I say, I really don't think the car needs a lot of length or width mods. I did put a different front bumper on it, as I do. I liked this one because it kind of came with the splitter and had those little rods that go down. I thought that looked real slick. So I'm doing the 8 of 8 Pandem front bumper. But for this car, you guys pretty much build it any way you want. I mean, you could throw that Legends body kit on it, make it a wide boy, make it all crazy looking, and probably get very similar performance out of it. It's a very good, well put together car. It handles very well. It's balanced. Now, that all being said, I am running the wide boy rims. We're running the Weld Racing Weld Star RTs, 94 out of 129 in this set. The reason it's instead of 93, it's 94 is because at the top, there is 2 sets of stock rims. There's the ones that come on it, and then you can get the Nismo rims, which all the Skylines have. That's a cool little thing they threw in there. Those are only available on the Skyline cars. I think it's also available on the 370Z Heritage Edition. I'd have to go back and double check that. I might be wrong. But regardless, we're running 94 out of the list, and then I run the Kumo tires. The Kumo Exta V710s, they are number 25, 26, 27, and 28 on the list. That's going to give you the widest rubber you can put on the ground on this car. I would encourage you to do that. I think that's a good move. Outside of that, for stance, I'm 2 clicks down off of middle, so it's a little lower, but I'm not slamming the car. I think to slam the car, it does create clipping. It's going to create issues where there's certain parts of the game where the terrain is not just perfectly even or not smooth, and you'll run into that. And when you clip, cars do wild stuff. I have found that cars are too low, especially on the S Plus races. They'll bounce like this at certain part, and it's just nuts. So a couple clicks off of center, that's where I run it. 2 clicks to the left, pretty happy with that. You guys do whatever you think it needs. I'm sure it'll be fine. Camber doesn't matter. We learned that. We made a car that had camber straight like that. We modded some stuff and put the wheels totally sideways. It looked like a hovercraft, and it didn't affect anything really. So camber doesn't matter nearly as much as we thought it did originally as a team, but we've moved on from that. We do know that ride height does matter. We do know that tire distance from the body, like body mods and putting the tires out wider, that all matters. So there's a lot of different parts that do make differences, but I would say rip camber life. You can do whatever you want. But we're still wide body boys over here on the channel. We just don't need it on this car because it's super stable. Outside of that, that'll give you the Nissan Skyline GTR. Godzilla Returns, as they call it. Well, actually, the R34 was Godzilla Returns, and it's Wheels Magazine that did this over in Australia. They've called the first R32 Godzilla, R33 was just kind of Godzilla improved. And then when the R34 came out, it handled so good, they called that one Godzilla Returns as its nickname. And so this is like Godzilla the prequel, because the Nismo is the one you build over on Magic's channel, you guys. Outside of that, it's a pretty good little car. I like it. It does handle well. It is not my favorite. I like the cars that are a little more rowdy, a little more insane, so to speak. Like that 1971 Skyline, guys. 208, 209. Oh, it's so good. But for S-Class, if you guys are not at that skill threshold yet to drive that car, drive this one. It's really good. And there's a bunch of Skyline boys that have been begging for this, so here it is. As requested, it's delivered. We got you guys taken care of. Stay tuned for the video clips. I've got a lot of footage with this car because I drove it a bunch just to try to find something that was a little out of place, and it's just solid. I had a bunch of really good races with it. I've got like 6 races, and I don't know that I'll put them all in, but I'll try to pick the best ones that had the most action and put them in there for you and kind of walk you through it. Other than that, it's a good car. Thank you so much for hanging out, you guys. Thank you for the continued support to all of the Need for Speed creators in this space. We're all trying to grow. It's tough on a racing game, so we're thankful for all you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. When you guys are launching this in a manual transmission, it's a 3rd gear launch. The throttle is touchy. This thing is like a light switch. It goes top to bottom real fast. It's really hard to hit that perfect launch. So just be aware of that. But it's so good. That all-wheel drive, this thing is just a beast. I mean, I walk away from those guys no problem. Cheetah is in the Ford GT, and that car is like one of the record-breaking cars for this track. It is a slayer, so I'm really up against a lot of work there. This car is super stable in the dirt. It's super stable in the corners. I mean, it just hangs and does what it's supposed to, so I'm a big fan of it right now for sure. I'm using handbrake for entry, drift a little bit there, get planted, grip turn out. Fantastic. Downshift, handbrake, turn. I mean, this car really is easy to drive. It's very fast. Cheddar is fast. He's one of my guys that I race with a lot, and I told him, hey, give me your best on this track. I want to see what that looks like. And this car really is very, very good. So I have nothing negative to say about it. As much as I don't love Skylines, this is actually pretty good. The 1971 doesn't count, you guys. I love that car. It's amazing. But you will see that coming up the hill here, I'm not sure if I should have dropped a gear or not, because really, like, we're bobbling right on the line of, do we go up? Do we stay down? This car does not love the off-road. And it glides a little bit. It's a bit of a glider. But overall, it's a good car. We turn in here. We're going to try to get a grip boost, but instead I drift a little coming off the dirt. I think that's the only grip turn in the whole race. The rest is handbrake entry. I didn't use the grip boost coming in because I wanted to drift out, get that 2-bar. Same deal here. You'll see me rip the e-brake. This car likes to point and shoot. I mean, you just kind of throw it into a drift with a full grip build, and it's just going to hook and turn very tight, and it's very easy to control. Yeah, all day long, you guys. If you're a newer player, go build this car. It really is very planted and easy to drive, and as long as you're not running somebody in a super meta, just broken, fast car, you'll probably do quite well in it. Outside of that, pretty clean race, pretty easy race. I like the car a lot. As much as I don't love Skylines, it's actually pretty good, you guys. All right, this track is kind of surprising to me. The Skyline has less power than some of the other cars in the S-Class, but it still finds a way to really surprise me. We launch in 3rd gear. That perfect launch is difficult in this car. You guys are definitely going to have to work on that. I don't think it's going to come to you easy. That Ford GT is lightning. It's flying by this car. But you'll notice a couple of things. We're able to really hook and turn. Obviously, Cheddar died to that car, but that's how things go. We actually hit top speed in this car a couple of times on this race, which really surprised me. I mean, we do 190, 191 a few times. And so even though in comparison to some of the other cars in the S-Class, that this has only got 800-ish horsepower and torque, it still finds a way to make it all the way to 190 very quickly and handle quite well. We e-brake into this. This corner you always want to take tight, you guys, because it's off camber, it slants down, it's really easy to go off in the ditch. I'm sure many of you that have played this track know exactly what I'm talking about. Car grips really good. It actually turns pretty fast. I mean, we're staying in the lane right there, using that grip boost. Use the full nitrous down the hill. You want to carry as much speed through here as you can, and use your whole bar because you can cut through the gas station and get full boost. Watch my blue bar. Boom, full. And I use it all right here. Coming down this straightaway, you want to avoid traffic. This is like the only traffic in the whole map for the most part, and it usually packs up right there. I swear it's timed. Cut through the trees, stay to the right of the 2 trees there at the trunks, and it usually sets you up for that line. That is the fastest way through there, you guys, for sure. Coming up on this corner, I like to start on the outside, cut in, light braking, and just take it easy. In that case, I got up on the curb, threw the car a little out, and I got all out of control. But if you can avoid the curb and stay planted, you can kind of just lightly brake through that corner and do just fine. Nonetheless, we're just carrying out the speed, going to finish the track, trying not to die. This car is growing on me race by race. So I'm pre-shifting, putting the car in 3rd gear. These are difficult cars to launch. I struggle the most with this car of all the cars. It's just hard to hold the needle there. You guys will know when you build it. It's something different. But like most of these vehicles, it launches like a rocket ship. Now, my buddy Cheddar didn't do this run with me, so I'm just playing against some randoms. This will really give you an idea of how, if you drive this car well, what you will do to the average person. E-brake hard, turn it tight, keep it on the road if you can. This thing just hooks up. It's so good. Full boost going through the gas station. We're rolling now, using all of the power to accelerate and get out of the way. Another e-brake turn through here to set our entry. You want to try to shoot for the middle of the road because there's always traffic on both sides. This turn, you can grip turn, just stay on the throttle all the way through. I could have taken a little tighter, but at the end of the day, we're all right. This one's kind of tricky. You want to try to put kind of a straight line through there, but that really wasn't the best example of that, but that's all right. At the end of the day, I'm still kind of all over the road. This isn't a clean run by any means, but we are walking away from 2nd and 3rd place. I'm doing e-brake entry on most of these corners just because with the all-wheel drive, you can really abuse it. You e-brake in, point the car, pull the trigger, and accelerate, and it's just going to hook up and take you where you need to go. Once again, we hit top speed in this car. It always surprises me. I do a little bit of redline tech. I try to get it to 192. It doesn't quite hit it, but overall, like, this car's got enough power that it really takes it to the top speed, and that makes it really grow on me a lot. I really like it. But thank you guys for watching the videos. Go watch Magic IQ's video. Build that Nismo. Let us know what you think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.